Well, obviously, it's been great to be back in Frisco. I want to start by just thanking Team Frisco. It's obvious to me that this game and the city have not only done a great job, but have progressed forward. I mean, it's a first-class operation. It feels much more like a bowl game, and I do have experience with that. I think 6 out of 7 years I was able to be part of that when I was away, and it sure feels like a bowl game now. And so thank you to everybody. I want to thank all of our support for getting us this far. I think it's just I take every opportunity I can to give credit to Jim Kramer, Ryan Napoli, Derek Lucan's been unbelievable. We haven't had a hiccup with the travel. The organization, the administrative support at North Dakota State is second to none. And our young people that provide us our uniforms and Gatorade and all that are first class, and they've got bright futures. And, we're looking forward to our final practice today. I think that's the most important thing going on right now. Is that we finish this prep out correctly. We come to meetings. We show up with meetings tomorrow, and we have great intent. Like we have practice here for basically 2 weeks. We're just super excited. I want to say congratulations to Marty Brown. With the Jerry Rice Award tonight. I'm really looking forward. I'm saddened that his mother had to work and couldn't make it down here, but he'll have some support there. We're excited for Marty's future, and he earned that award. And then obviously Cam Miller being a finalist. However that goes, that's a heck of an achievement, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Coach Miller tonight, his dad, and his grandparents. And so with that, we'll open up for questions.
Thank you so much, Coach. Once again, just like we did this morning, we'll pass the mic around. Just raise your hand, and if you could give your name and affiliation before you ask your question, that would be great. And Mike, we'll go ahead and start right here, second row on the right.
Devin Fry with Valley News Live in Fargo. Coach, you mentioned Cam just a second ago with the Walter Payton Award. Obviously, he poo-poos the individual awards every time we get a chance to talk to him. But for you, what does it mean to see him on that stage and to have a chance to get an award that prestigious?
Well, there's a lot of kids that lace him up on August 1st. There's a lot of starting running backs. There's a lot of starting quarterbacks, right? Let's not pretend we don't know what this award's for, right? Just like the Heisman, typically. And, for him to be able to compete and improve and be tough, for the duration of this season, to find ways over the summer and spring ball to improve, to embrace any of the change that's happened here over the last 12 months is remarkable. And he's doing it, with some different guys, at receiver. And there's some guys that are back, but the relationship that him and Bryce have developed on the football field is obvious right now. He's got a lot of connection there. And so I'm excited for Cam because he's taken complete ownership of the protection side. So when we're talking about his future and having opportunities down the road, you cannot play that position without understanding where the five guys are being directed to. And then he has a really good handle on our run game as far as base rules and the things that he'll have to do potentially at the next level. It means a lot for a coach's son from Iowa that, had a few offers and those things to make it to this point. Cam's going to tell you the most important thing is us getting this W.
We'll keep it over on the right-hand side, Coach. Go ahead, third row.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I'd like for you to expand, if you would, on the experience that you guys have had since you've arrived in Frisco, and also your thoughts on the championship possibly coming back after the construction is complete.
Well, for me, it's Fargo with this game is always going to be special. Going back to 2011 and driving down the highway and seeing basically nothing, and now there's a new city, right? I mean, so that's cool. I don't know if hopeful or is the right word, but I think they do it right here. Team Frisco does it right. Frisco is easy to get into. Transportation-wise, there's multiple hotels, and so all that stuff aligns with a big-time football game. I'd second that, I guess, with just seeing the growth, and then for myself to get here, we planned everything so we could get everything done in Fargo yesterday as far as a football day. And so it was really important for me to take some staff members out to eat, and I thought Three Forks was awesome. Hunter Lupke and Derek Dinger recommended that one, and we had a phenomenal, evening. Just all those things, and then seeing our support, when you get back to the hotel, and we had a small gathering there, and then waking up with a football day here is what it's all about.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Kopak with the Forum. Tim, rare game on grass. Big deal, no big deal? What do you think?
Well, it can be a big deal. We got to get out there today. I want our first 5 to 8 minutes of drill work with our players to be all COD, change of direction, violent movements. We're going to have to keep our chin over our toes, chest over our knees. We're going to have to plant and break with our feet. I think that's something you guys should all be looking for. The team that breaks on the ball with their feet up underneath them and playing inside their framework is critical on grass. It just doesn't grab as good. Now, if the surface is as good as it looks, it shouldn't be a big deal. And against Colorado for us, it really wasn't, except for our sidelines, the 30 and in was a little bit slick. So our kids got to get out there. They got to move around early in pregame, which they'll be chomping at the bit to get out there on Monday night. But I think everybody getting as familiar as possible, as quick as possible, is a big deal. Can be a big deal. We'll handle it. We need to. No excuses, just execution.
Back row in the middle.
Coach Sean Rainey with SWX Montana. What are some of the similarities you see from North Dakota and the state of Montana that lends itself to, good FCS football?
I normally don't keep my answers real short, but I'm just telling you it's the people. And I would tie in South Dakota and I would tie in Wyoming. I would tie in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Just, really good people that care for each other, have a respect level for earn it. Okay, you got to earn things, right, in order to be respected. And that's about where I would stop. I don't have any experience recruiting Montana.
We'll come up here front row on the right.
Slim Kimmel, Montana Television Network. You guys play in a dome, obviously familiar with cold. Do you see the weather being a factor at all tomorrow?
No, we said no to the heated benches. We're going to go to a battle. I know Coach Vegan will have his guys ready. 30 degrees or 20 degrees is nonsense. We've got experience in the cold, but we are indoors all year round now with an unbelievable facility. In the spring and in the summer, though, anytime we get a chance, I learned this from Coach Ferentz, and Coach Bull. Anytime you get a chance, you go out and practice in the rain, you practice in the elements. I'm not concerned about that. These guys have worked way too hard for some cold weather to get involved. It's nothing like the NFC Championship game at Green Bay, minus 23, I can tell you that. I was at that game.
Dom, go ahead.
Tim, Dom Izzo, WDAY. You might be in the unique position that you face the Heisman Trophy winner and potentially the Walter Payton winner. Just your thoughts on those kind of players and the kind of matchups you've had this season.
Yeah, you made me think about the hitch and then just go score. That was really remarkable. But I tell you, we grew. We had a couple guys. Duff won't play this week, but Duffy battled Travis Hunter. I think he grew up a lot. His confidence grew, even though he got beat in the end zone a couple times there. And then to play the more I study this film, I don't want to put him, on some he's a good player. He's Jordan Lynch to me. We were really a team in 2013 that we would call for verticals to get scramble opportunities. And Jordan Lynch went back-to-back weeks against the Michigan schools, 323, I believe, and then 357. He broke the NCAA rushing record for a quarterback, his own record back-to-back weeks, and he finished third for the Heisman. We have to keep this guy as boxed up as we can and then, play as physical as possible on him. We got to get him squared up, and not allow him to be in space where he can slide. Every opportunity we get a chance to hit and to be physical versus this guy will be important, just like a good running back.
Let's go on to the right back row.
Head coach Victor Flores, 406 MT Sports. I was curious just about a couple of matchups, the defensive ends for Montana State against your All-American tackles, and then how you might foresee the coverage on Bryce Lance.
Yeah, interesting. I think on both sides, the offensive lines are very schooled up. And that's not to say our best or their best isn't gettable, because we've seen that throughout the year. But they play together pretty well. I think they understand where their help is and where it's not, where they can get beat quickly and where they can't. Those things are pretty evident. And then they're always connected in the run game. And I think the diversity in the run game can have a chance to slow down both sides of the ball as far as defensive end goes. It's interesting, like on normal down or distance or 2nd and 7 or 8, a pass down where you have quarterback powers and quarterback zone reads, those DNs now are in a conflict because a lot of times they're the option players, so they're not just playing with their ears pinned back. And so I think that's going to be interesting, who can capitalize on, reading their keys and great get off and fundamentals and technique. And then, like I said, Al Johnson is a good friend. I'm trying to remember the first time I came in contact with Al, but we've been in a lot of communication. I know he does a good job. He was well tutored at the University of Wisconsin, and they do a really good job. The DNs, I'm hopeful the DNs have a big impact on this game.
Let's keep it on the right-hand side, Coach, second row.
Coach, we talked about some older guys kind of stepping up into the opportunities, especially through the playoffs and whatnot. But for guys like Hunterpontious, now who's been here for so long, to be able to start at a national championship game, what does it mean for you to see guys have those kind of moments?
Well, first thing, it means somebody went down, right? So you feel terrible for their family and for that young man's situation. But that's what this program, and it's not coach speak. If you go back and you look at it all the way to the 2010 championship run, Matt Grotzik had to have microfracture surgery, and it, Coach Bull wanted him to get that done, and Matt said, no, this class needs to carry the Bison through to a championship at some point. And that kid chose to play 15 to 18 plays a game, right? And so there's always been these moments where people have played hurt. I feel terrible for Wirtz, didn't find out until Tuesday. I mean, he was going to get some help, and he was going to play through another back thing, and he was going to go late on the line for us, and it's just not going to happen. And so it just creates opportunity for others. The one thing that one of our staples in our program, when we talk about standards of the program, is to have, a great deal of urgency, right? A can't wait mentality. But it also encompasses everybody that plays for the Bison needs to be ready to go when they get their opportunity. And time again, I think that's going to be a big piece of this legacy if we can finish this off the right way. And in our history, that's happened.